Welcome back. You're in the kitchen with Chef ChefCarlaAndrea, and today I want to share with you guys how to make a proper, fluffy, tender, moist biscuit. I know sometimes we get discouraged and we just go for what we know. We grab the 2 biscuits, but those biscuits are high in calories, full of sodium, over-processed, full of preservatives, and they're just flat out nasty. So I figured if I could tell you the do's and the don'ts and how to make a great biscuit that only takes you about 10 minutes to make, to put together, and another 10 to bake it, I say why not? So the first thing you want to do, you're thinking to yourself, I want to make breakfast for my family. It's Saturday, it's Sunday, or you just have the day off and you want to make some breakfast. So you say, well, I need bread, I need some bacon, I need some eggs. So what do? You say, okay, I'm going to make biscuits. So the first thing you want to do in your biscuit making process is you want to come over, turn your oven on. You want to make sure that your oven is nice and hot before you start, because you don't want your biscuits to sit, because you're going to have fat that can melt, and then it's just going to be all in vain, all your hard work. So I like to preheat my oven to 495, even though I'm going to bake it at 450. Then the second step I want to do is make sure that I have my butter nice and chilled. So I go ahead and pop it in the freezer. Then I take my liquid. I'm using buttermilk. You can use milk or buttermilk, whatever you have on hand. You want to make sure that that's nice and frozen or cold or super cold, whatever you want to call it. Then after that, I gather all my ingredients and make sure my mise en place is ready to go. Because this dough, you got to move fast and quick, because it can get hot, it can melt, and then it'll just be a big mess. So the first thing that I did was I gathered my dry ingredients. Well, that's the third thing I did. So I have 2 cups of sifted flour in here. Then I have 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 tablespoon of white granulated sugar. Then I added in a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I make sure that I sifted all my ingredients. Whenever I bake, I sift. But you don't have to do the sugar, because that's fat and it's all good. So now that I have it sifted, I'm going to whisk everything, because I like to make sure that it's all combined. Now I have a little secret that I'm going to share with you guys. I use a 50-50 portion of cake flour and all-purpose flour. If you don't have it, no big deal. But I'm a perfectionist. I like fluffy, I like tender, nice soft biscuits. So that's how you get that, because cake flour is a little more delicate than all-purpose flour. Not as much gluten structure in the flour. So now that we got that done, move this off to the side. I made sure that I have my rolling pin, I have my grater, because we're going to grate our butter, and I have my biscuit cutter, and I'm going to grab just a little bit more flour for making a mess for my workstation. So I got everything. So now I'm going to get the butter. So I have my nicely chilled butter in here. I like to pull my butter out last minute, so that way it still says cold, and I'm not worried about it melting on me. And I pull out my wet and my butter as soon as I need it, because it's no real big rush. So let me see if I can get this frozen paper that I smashed, because I dropped my butter stick 1,000 times before I got it into the freezer. So now that I have it, I'm going to use the big setting. Just set it in here. Make sure all my paper's pulled back, because you don't want paper in your biscuits. I'm going to do 1/2 the stick, and I just go ahead and grate it like it's a block of cheese. Fairly easy. Not difficult. It makes it a lot easier too when it's frozen, because you don't have to worry about, trying to cut it and the knife going everywhere, because we want to practice kitchen safety first. So I'm just doing a little extra. I'm a fat girl underneath it all. So I'm going to do a little extra butter. Never hurt anybody. So now that we got that done, I'm going to get all this butter off of here. Throw this out of the way. So I'm just going to use my hands. You can use a fork, a knife, a pastry cutter, but I like the hands. As long as they're clean, no cuts, no blood, you're good to go. So, because I think that, the hand gives you a better feel. You get to feel what you're doing just a little bit better. You get to be involved in the process. It's truly homemade. Your family gets a better understanding of what it is that you're doing, because it has a bit of you in it. It has your soul in it, and that's what cooking is to me. You get to give your personality, lend who you are to the dish and to the people that's eating it, because this is something that's made with love. There's a lot of pride in it, and you want people to enjoy it and to get a feel for your personality. So this is almost finished. What I don't want to do is overwork the butter and it begins to melt on me, because then that will just be, it would be very tragic. I can't even explain how my little heart would feel. So now that I got it nice and mealy and the butter and the flour is mixed together, I'm going to show you guys. See how it's like mealy, nice and mealy, not overworked, because I don't want to melt my butter. I want my butter to still be whole to a certain extent. Now I'm going to take my floured hands, open up my freezer, and I'm going to get my buttermilk that I threw in there. I'm just going to swizzle it around. Now I have a whole cup of buttermilk. You don't need it all. You probably won't. You may not. So you just measure it out and you do it slowly until it comes together into a ball. So I'm going to do it slowly. Still using my hands. Barely roughing around the flour butter mixture. Just getting it barely to all come together. Keeping one hand out of the mess, because I'm going to need that one good hand. So I'm just getting it to come together slowly but surely. Being gentle, because it's flour and we don't want to build too much gluten. You want to treat it with a little bit of love. Make it feel special, because flour is very temperamental. Dump all this in here almost. Okay, now we're getting to a ball. We're getting there. I see the future. So I'm going to put some flour down. Okay, I see it. We're almost there. Do you guys see this? See how it's starting to come together? Get this off the hands. Okay. Just a little bit more buttermilk and we'll be good to go. I got some on the floor. I got some flour and butter. The floor is going to appreciate all the extra love it's getting. So now that we got it into a ball, I'm going to take it out. And I'm going to knead it just a little bit, not a lot, because you, like I said, you don't want to build the glutens. So just a little bit. Now, when you're doing this recipe, you can use this recipe if you want to make like cheese biscuits, you know, any other type of biscuit. You don't have to put the sugar in. Just leave the salt in, because you know salt goes good with everything. So now that we have this all together, I'm just going to lightly work it. That's it. Just a little kneading, not a lot. Okay, so now we're going to put everything together. We're going to get just a little bit of roll action on it. Not too much. Let me move this out the way. We're going to roll it just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not a lot though. Just a little bit. Now I'm going to take it and I'm going to fold it. And I'm going to fold it over like a little bitty envelope so I can get some flakiness going on. So I can get some nice layers. And I'm going to roll it out just a little bit more. And I'm done. I am done rolling out my dough. And then there, I'm just going to work it with my hand. Nice and easy. I'm going to dip my cutter into the flour so that way I don't have to twist. You don't ever want to twist when you're doing your biscuit. You just want to cut it. Move on, because that's the mistake that a lot of people make. They twist their biscuit cutter and then it just messes up all the hard work that you did to achieve the nice layers, to get the nice butter pieces, pearls as I like to call them. And you just want to do it again. Now that you've gotten your biscuits cut, you want to just do minimum work on them. You know, you just want to keep it very gentle. Use your hands, because a lot of people make a mistake and they tend to overwork it. You don't want to overwork your dough. Just roll it out just a little bit. Dip it back in your flour so you don't do the whole, I'm going to show you this twist thing, this twist action that people do. You don't want to do that. That's bad. All you want to do is go like this. That's it. You move it. Bam. That's how you cut it. It keeps everything that you work for in whole, intact, together. So now, the reason why I say do minimum moving around with your dough is because you're going to have to reshape it, reform it a few times. So that's why I say don't get in the habit of overworking it initially, because you will do more working to your dough and then your dough will just get all messed up and sticky and rough. And I know you're like, but it's not together all the way. It's a biscuit. It's okay. It's homemade. It'll bake right. It'll taste good still, I promise. So you just want to put it back together just a little bit. You can use just a little bit of flour if it starts getting sticky. Just a little bit. Not a lot, because you got plenty of flour in there, and you don't want the whole flour raw taste in your mouth. But it's just simple as pie. It's taking us, what, a few minutes to bake these nice homemade biscuits. And what, I think it cost me maybe $2 for all this versus the $4 you'll pay in a store. Alright, I think I can get one more biscuit out. I'm going to finish up this last biscuit. Then I'm going to get it in the oven. You can brush it with the tops of your biscuits with some sugar, milk wash, egg wash. I'm just going to put a little bit of buttermilk on the top. Throw them in there. Let them bake for 8 minutes. Turn your oven down to 450 before you do that. And just watch it. Don't open it because you got the steam, the butter, all that goodness. And I'll show you guys when the biscuits are finished. Later, we have our nice, tall, fluffy buttermilk biscuits. I'm going to take that butter that I put in the biscuits. I have a little extra. I'm going to just rub it all over the tops. Because like I said, I'm a fat girl. I love to eat. I love anything that has fat on it. So I'm going to go ahead, give them a little extra butter. I can't wait to pop one in my mouth. Now that I've got my tops buttered, I'm going to pick one up. Oh, look at that. This is exciting. I love it. I wish you guys were here with me. It's so fluffy, moist. It's hot. It's good. It's going to go good with some butter, some sugar. Excuse me for talking with a mouthful. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe. You can search on YouTube, Cooking with Chef ChefCarlaAndrea. You can find me on Instagram, Cooking with Chef ChefCarlaAndrea. Or you can find me on Twitter, ChefCarlaAndrea. Thank you very much. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.